When war breaks out, the first instinct is to panic about your investments. History says that's usually the wrong move. Researchers look at 11 major geopolitical shocks since Pearl Harbor, and here's what they found. 1 year later, the stock market was higher 8 out of those 11 times, with an average gain of around 8%. War is terrible, but the market tends to keep moving forward. The bigger fear right now is whether the Iran conflict could trigger another 70s style energy crisis. And that's a fair question. But the numbers tell a different story. Back in the 70s, Americans were spending over 7% of their income just on energy. Today, that number is under 3%, and it's been dropping for years. Our economy is far less dependent on foreign oil than it used to be. The headlines feel scary. The math says stay calm. Tech stocks just got hammered. People started worrying that artificial intelligence might actually hurt the companies that build software, which sounds backwards but makes sense when you think about it. If AI can write code and replace software tools, why pay a software company? So investors sold. And here's where it gets interesting. When you compare how expensive tech stocks are versus the rest of the market, they just dropped to their cheapest level since 2020. And that matters. History shows that when tech gets this cheap compared to everything else, it beats the overall market about 69% of the time over the following year. Now, 69% certainly isn't a guarantee, but it's a lot better than a 50-50 coin flip. The lesson? When everyone's panicked about tech, that's usually when the smart market starts quietly buying. Fear creates the discount, patience collects the return. Every month, the government puts out a jobs report, and the news tells you how many jobs America added or lost. Right now, that number looks fine. Over 5 million jobs added since 2022. Sounds healthy, right? Well, here's what nobody's telling you. There's one small part of the economy, construction and manufacturing, that only makes up about 15% of workers. But that 15% causes almost every recession job loss in America. And it starts shrinking about 2.5 years before a recession officially begins. It's the early warning system. Look at the red line on this chart. Manufacturing peaked 3 years ago, and it's been losing jobs ever since. 420,000 jobs gone. While everyone's cheering the headline, the part that actually warns you is quietly flashing red. If you wait for the headline to drop, you're already too late. Thank you for taking the time. If you have any questions, please reach out.